Welcome back to Thursday morning lineup, everyone. You know what this means. Me and Owen are here, and that means that football is approaching. We are a little over a month away,
Right around the corner.
a little over a month away from the season starting, and then so excited. We've actually had our first ever, our first football game from months ago, and Hall of Fame game, which most people think is a joke, but this one was the exact opposite. But before we get to that, Owen, how are we doing?
We're doing pretty well. We're excited to talk football. There's a couple things happening in the news. A couple guys got signed. Um, you know, Outside of the Hall of Fame game, there's always a little bit of controversy. There's another story that I'm excited to bring up when we get rolling here, but I've been swell just fine. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know you said that you didn't really get to watch this Hall of Fame game, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't.
I did not tune in. No.
But for the people that did tune in for the quarter or two that they saw, they got to watch the great battle between Carson Beck and Haynes King, and obviously quarterbacks for Arizona and Carolina. And Carolina took it with the last 5 seconds of the game. One last play, Haynes King scrambles it from the red zone to win. I saw a lot of great things out of both of these quarterbacks, and what's crazy is both these teams. I mean, they have their QB1, but
Yeah.
the second they start struggling, we might see Carson Beck in the Cardinals, starting for the Cardinals one of these days. I mean, he balled out, but I mean, that's pretty much all I got. But it was definitely the most interesting Hall of Fame game I've seen.
Carson Beck being impressive in this game was something that popped up across a couple of my feeds. 15 for 19 in the game, 125 passer rating. It's really,
Yeah.
really good. He was only sacked once, which helps. But Beck threw for a touchdown, and also in this game where I'm not saying that Haynes King is out there necessarily trying to improve himself in the same way that Carson Beck is, but you have a guy like Beck with the spotlight on him battling against another quarterback that is possibly fighting for a spot, right? Him and Pickett each want that backup spot. So two guys, a lot on the line for them. This is the first game of the season. A lot of people think it's too early. They don't want to watch NFL football yet. But as for the quarterback duel, I think Beck definitely won that duel. And, just based on the eye test, seeing how he looks in a jersey, I think they may have found their guy, if not for this year, the next year. They seem like they may be confident enough. I don't think that you can have a fluke game this early. You know what I mean? You can't. You don't have 125 passer rating in a game in, July, August, unless you're actually ready. You've been working in the off season.
Yeah.
So I think this is good news for them, but I'm not over here blaring, sounding the horn, saying that Carson Beck is going to be insane for them. One thing that was interesting with this game was Bam Knight getting 12 attempts and 60 yards on the ground, and then also the likely third or fourth string Kiner getting 14 attempts on the ground. No love for Love just yet, but we will be tuning into the exciting, hopefully fantasy. What's the word I'm looking for? When you blow up in fantasy, what's the
boom?
Yeah, I guess you could say the word boom. Maybe he's going to have some booms in fantasy this season. Yeah, I think that's what everybody's really waiting for in Arizona is Jeremiah Love.
Apparently, Jeremiah Love is not even listed as the RB1 on their roster. Apparently,
yeah. I mean, it's gonna. We remember Travion Henderson and New England, right? It's the NFL. You gotta work your way in.
Who's above him? I'm trying to remember. Was it
I would think. I mean, if James Conner is he here? Let's take a look.
He is now, but it was Tyler Algier beforehand.
Yeah,
Conner seems to be injured, so
move from. Let's see.
Jeremiah Love was moved to the starter, actually. So
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I would have thought that if James Conner is still a part of that team, even if he's battling injuries, they might list him as the RB1. Let me see.
He's listed as RB3 according to ESPN's depth chart because of he's questionable with whatever injury he
Oh yeah,
suffered
well there
last
you
year.
go. So I guess it's just going to be a matter of time,
Yeah.
or love. But don't be surprised if there's a situation where they're having Algier or Connor
Yeah.
fill that RB1 role, just as Stevenson did for basically the whole
So
season.
are we saying stay away from Love a little bit in the drafts, or if he falls to you, you might as well take him?
I'm going to stay away. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I was literally listening. I was literally listening to that earlier. I stay away. Alice in Chains. Um, I'm gonna stay away. I don't like to get involved. I didn't get Travion Henderson. I tried to trade for him in a couple of
Right.
leagues.
Once he got his
After
reps.
I saw the reps, but I'm not really a take a big risk on the running back type of
Yeah.
guy. So I'm probably not going to be drafting Jeremiah Love in any of my leagues.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Before we move forward from this Hall of Fame game, because who cares? I think we can't overlook the Haynes King performance, the Georgia Tech product. Still threw 21 for 34 with 180 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 game-winning rushing touchdown.
Absolutely, he did ball out. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely fighting for that QB2 spot in front of Kenny Pickett. He's still listed as third, but we'll see how the rest of these preseason games go on for him. But I mean, it's Bryce Young's team, and he had a great year last year, so we'll see. But moving forward, we said you were talking about running backs, and we found out the other day that there's this one running back in the league for Miami who was told by his coach that he's going to get anywhere between 40 to 50 touches per game.
Yeah.
And that running back, folks, is Devon Achane. Now, we know that...
I want to look back at that whole quote because I know you sent it to me, but go ahead.
We know that Achane has been pretty much the only good thing going for Miami in years past. So the fact that he's going to be getting about 40 to 50 touches a game is just a recipe for a player to get injured, because as we've seen in past, running backs don't get the contracts that they need, that they probably should get, because of the issue that everyone has in the back of their head with the longevity thing. They're constantly on the ground game, running through linebackers, taking hits nonstop.
There it is.
So
I found it. It says, I'm going to have to physically pick you up and carry you back to the locker room. It's like, whoa, what is this guy talking about? But listen, Devon Achane, explosive 4.2 speed, the A&M product, right? He was an Aggie. Yeah. I don't think that this is good for him. This is a recipe for disaster. My initial gut reaction was that he's cooked. I think that's what I texted you, actually. But when Tua is checking the ball down to you, you have a ton of fantasy value. Glasses was trying to set up like the perfect schemes for that offense. He tried to turn Tua into his model quarterback, and he couldn't make it happen. Tua didn't have the arm for it or the confidence. Frankly enough, I don't think he had the brains for it left. He's been beaten like a pulp. The poor guy has had so many concussions, and he keeps coming back. It was already a problem coming out of Alabama, and now, you know what I mean? Now he's...
Yeah. It got to the point where people were telling him to retire.
That's what I was just about to say. Now he's one away from being medically retired. So
yeah,
I think when you're getting the ball checked down to you a ton, like he was in that system, you know, you get your fantasy value shoots up. When you're the only stud per se, right? Star, looking at that roster on just on the offensive side of the ball, I'm not talking about the Miami defense. You know, Achane screams Pro Bowl. Nobody else really comes close. So I think that they're going to key on him.
Yeah.
They're going to see the quote that this offensive coordinator just put, or I'm sorry.
Head coach.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't want to misspeak. They're going to see that quote that just got put out, and this guy now has a target on his back. So I feel bad for Devon Achane. It's going to be a different system, and I think that his value is going to go down a little bit.
I think
fantasy.
I think we're going to see a lot of defenses stack the box against Miami just to limit Achane and to just beat the hell
Right.
out of him.
I'm not saying he can't go for 800, 900, 1,000
yeah,
yards. You know what I mean? I'm just saying don't expect these monster performances that we were seeing,
yeah,
and don't expect, like double-digit touchdown for sure this year. I
yeah,
think he's a great player, super electric to watch, but these things that their new coach is saying are
yeah.
probably not the best thing for his health.
And we were talking about it even in on Instagram a little bit, is that Malik Willis can actually throw the ball downfield, so that will make it him less likely to check down. And then I was mentioning how even if he has an opportunity where he's under pressure and he can hit the easy check down, I feel like Malik Willis is more of a quarterback to scramble first
Oh,
instead
definitely.
of check it down. Now I could be wrong, and the coaches could tell him, hey, you have HN, you have your outlet right here, use it. But I feel like it's going to take time for Malik Willis to understand that, because that's not the type of quarterback that we've seen him be.
Right. Absolutely. I would agree with that assessment. I think that coming from he's kind of stuck in a spot, coming from a city like Miami where the players aren't really taking everything all that serious. They're going out after games and whatnot. The weather's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that the team environment is going to be good enough to have like a very, very successful team. Not to mention they don't really have the talent. But poor HN is in the spotlight. He's going to be the only guy. I mean, we wish him all the best. But completely different from this other running back that I'm going to bring up.
Go for it.
Real quick, Saquon Barkley. I think that
Okay.
this is a big bounce back. We saw a year last year that I think Achane will have this year. I think there are going to be teams keying in on him. This scheme and the offense is going to need to work out some kinks.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to need to get back on the same page again. And, it'll be a little bit difficult for him. This year, Saquon Barkley, it's going to be the complete opposite. We'll be back. We got some good talent at the wide receiver position, and I fully expect this guy to have like a better year on the ground than other backs such as, McCaffrey, Omarion Hampton. People are saying he's going to blow up this year. I fully expect Saquon Barkley to be, if not 1 or 2 RB3, up there with Gibbs and Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
I don't see him getting the love for whatever reason. Have we forgotten who he is? Have we forgotten how good the Eagles are? I mean, this is going to be a big time bounce back year for him, and I just wanted to bring him up. I also want to talk about JT, but I want to ask you about Saquon. Do you think this is going to be a big year?
I think he'll have a better year, just because I think last year I'm chalking it up to a Madden curse, because we've seen it in years past.
I forgot about that.
But here's the issue that I don't. Huh?
Who's the new one?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, that's right. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But what I would say about Saquon is I feel like with the way that Philly's offense was ran last year, Jalen Hurts struggled a little bit to throw the ball. And I know a lot of it was A.J. Brown drama and whatnot. But he did have a little bit of issues with interceptions and turning the ball over himself. I think if he figures that out and can flip it around and actually generate a decent pass game, I think for now, Saquon, they're still going to key in on Saquon and try and shut down the run game as much as possible and almost let Jalen Hurts beat them like they did last year. Granted, Philly still won the division, whatever, all that stuff. But their passing game struggled, and they caught themselves on a lot of 3rd and longs. If they can prevent that from happening this year, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, dude, we had more 3rd down. We had more 3rd and 8s than anybody in history.
It just seems like if he can figure out the turnover thing and figuring out the passing game with his 6th straight offensive coordinator, if they can figure that out, I think Saquon has a better year.
Been to 2 Super Bowls, by the way, with all those different offensive coordinators. They won't talk about that, though.
I'm just saying, I think if Philly can figure out their pass game with Devonta Smith and Lemon, then Mekhi Lemon, they'll figure it I think that Saquon opens up a lot of opportunities for Saquon.
Another back I wanted to talk about, Jonathan Taylor got paid, man.
A lot of running backs got paid this offseason.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of payments we could bring up. Yo, Achane. Earlier I said Achane is stuck. Brees Hall is stuck.
Yeah.
Like, some people are just. Some guys just get stuck, and you just feel bad for him. Anyway, okay. Jonathan Taylor, is he worth
Yes.
the money? This is a big year for the Indianapolis Colts. I feel like this is a huge take a step forward or take two steps backward type of year for Indianapolis. And a lot of this is going to rest on Jonathan Taylor after all of these clips are coming out of Alec Pierce not being able to walk at practice.
Yeah.
So did the ankle surgery not go well? I don't know. Was it a routine injection? Probably not. He'd be able to put a little bit of weight on it. But I got to ask you your opinion. What do you see happening for the Colts? And is JT worth that kind of money?
I think to start off, I think JT is very much worth that money. We've seen him be top 5, top 8, top 7 in rushing yards pretty much every year. Regardless of the team he's been on, the Colts have struggled in the years past. I think they started off 6 straight wins. Daniel Jones got hurt and they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to say because now that I've heard about the Alex Pierce thing, I think that their passing game is going to take a bigger hit than they realize. Obviously, that contract was a gamble in its own. But it really all depends on Danny Dimes. And he seemed to have clicked with that offense last year. It's just, can he do it again? And now that people know what he's capable of, will they be able to stop it? And will he be able to adjust? But I think JT's production won't change that much because we've seen where they've keyed in on his runs and JT still ends up top 10 in rushing yards. And he's still like RB7, RB8, you know what I mean? So
I think that JT could absolutely finish right up there with Saquon Barkley if he's forced to take on as much volume, you know what I mean, as he has in years past. They do have a couple talented guys behind them, though. They do. They drafted let's see. I know their Seth McGowan is there, but there's a second guy. But do you have a dynasty league? I
do not, but I really want to do one. It seems like a lot of fun, but I don't know if we ever got I don't have people that are committed enough to do it for that long.
A couple of these guys were showing up in the dynasty league recently. That's why I brought that up. But hold on a moment. DJ Giddens, and they even used him a little bit last year. But 2 guys to look out for should something happen to JT. But like I said, I think this is a make or break type of year for the Colts.
I agree.
Adonai Mitchell left there, and I saw something recently about how he had to relive that fumble he had, and Colts fans hated him, and he was a target in the media for a little while. But this is a guy that's been absolutely frying everybody at Jets camp and building that relationship with Geno Smith. So, look out for him coming up in the fantasy drafts these next couple weeks. There's a lot of guys that I expect to pop, but I don't want to put too much value on scrimmages and camps and stuff.
Yeah,
that is a name I just wanted to say because I think he'll be a guy that is going to have a pretty good year this year. I'm still researching though and networking. I don't have my list. There's going to be a list, but I don't
we'll do our mock draft eventually, but
we're gonna be mocking and we're gonna be drafting soon. We're gonna be drafting soon for sure.
But sticking with running backs real quick, because I remembered this. Kenneth Walker has joined his new team and is already starting drama. He is fighting people. He is just
allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, he's getting into it with his teammates as he starts training camp, which is kind of funny to me, but also I don't expect anything less, honestly.
Yeah, there were Seahawks fans, that took to the media and said this guy's cocky. You don't really want him on your team.
Yeah.
There was the Kenneth Walker and front office guy conversation, and then he brought up the thing during his speech. Do you remember?
I don't think so. Was
So
this during the Super Bowl thing?
at the Super Bowl
Yeah.
celebration, apparently they were having a conversation, and Kenneth Walker tried to use the Super Bowl MVP to leverage himself into getting like a big running back contract. And the guy brought it up, like the Seahawks GM, the front
Okay.
office guy brought it up in front of the crowd, like on the mic, and Kenneth Walker
Yeah.
looked like slightly uncomfortable. And everybody was like, yo, why did he bring that up? Blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. Yo, why did Kenneth Walker bring that up?
He
Like, why
wants
would
his
he?
money.
Everybody wants to say that he shouldn't have
Yeah.
talked about that in front of the crowd, but why did Kenneth Walker bring that up? Why did he say,
Yeah.
I
Not
just
in an
played so
office or
well, you
something.
better be paying me? Like, dude, just relax and have a drink. Like, I mean, like, take
Yeah.
pictures with the guy's kids, and then he'll want to pay you anyway because you're being a nice guy, a family guy. Don't like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Celebrate the win.
I'm looking back at some of the Kenneth Walker's actions, and yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe he's not gelling and fitting in right away in KC because that's just how it is.
Yeah. And apparently, no, this is Detroit. Pacheco's hurt, I think. So it just means more touches for Gibbs, who just got a massive contract as well.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs got paid so much. Oh, that's my guy right there.
But what's crazy is like you look at the running back contracts in comparison to like Zay Flowers, and you're like, dude, because Zay Flowers is now the 5th highest paid wide receiver, and he doesn't even come close to a top 5 receiver.
Zay Flowers, maybe not, but Zay Flowers has been consistently performing. A lot of people didn't like. I don't know. I saw who hit on him. Somebody hit on him. Was it Cowherd? No, somebody.
I don't know.
Was it? No, it wasn't. It was I think it was Sims. I think it was Chris Sims.
Okay.
It was one of the analysts. Like, I like to
clown on him.
I'm not saying that people say right things or people say wrong things. Most of the time, people report news for clicks. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not first, you're last. It's that kind of thing. You want to be first.
Yeah.
But I do listen to a lot of these guys because I want to hear what they have to say. And Sims has some very, very interesting quarterback and wide receiver insight at times.
Mm-hmm.
And Zay Flowers, he hit the nail right on the head. That was his guy in that draft. That was his receiver in that draft. And you look at it now, and I think he's the only one with multiple 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah,
like stacked up like that, and that's what earned him that contract. Is you can look back at the stats, and sure, he hasn't achieved, like you said, a top 5 ranking at the position. He hasn't brought them repeated divisional championships to the degree that they're hoping the dynasty would become. They haven't become the team in that division yet. They haven't won a Super Bowl. So you can say all these things about that team or about Lamar, but when you look at the stats, I'm not gonna lie, Noah, Zay may have earned that contract. For today's money, people get mad, but
the only reason I say that is 2 reasons. One, he struggles to find the end zone.
The only reason I say that is 2 reasons. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
He doesn't find the end zone much. That's the only concern I have with him. He's not much of a red zone. He's not much of a touchdown guy. He does get the yards. Don't get me wrong. Like, you'll see him top 5 in AFC receivers every year.
May I counter? Do you have Lamar and Derrick Henry? Why would you throw it to Mini Zay in the red zone? I'm just saying.
All right, that's fine.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's because me, Cowboys fan, we just signed Quinnen Williams to a big deal. He's now the 2nd highest paid defensive tackle in the league.
Of course. Somehow that makes its way into this conversation. Yes.
Because we still have to pay Pickens. And seeing Zay Flowers' contract means we might not pay him. And he might leave after this year.
Do you think that Pickens is worth that money?
I think Pickens is the type of receiver that deserves that money because he is
that same amount and more.
Yes, because Menace,
Okay.
he is a 50-50 merchant. He's very good after the catch. He's very, very good on slants. I showed you that one thing
Yeah,
where
you
like
can't
it's
guard
like
him.
Pickens on a slant versus like everybody else. Like he's realistically one of the least guardable receivers in the NFL. Do
Yep.
I think we're going to pay him that much? No, because Lamb's only making like 33. So I don't know if we're going to give him more than Lamb. But the issue with that is Lamb at the time was one of the highest paid receivers of that market when he was paid. So
Right. Yeah.
it's all this big
Jerry has
jumble.
been put in a tough spot here.
Yeah,
He made a tough decision to pay Quentin Williams, but
I'm glad we
yeah.
did.
Look, I'm not a Cowboys fan, and I'm not gonna hope that they do the right thing. However, if I wasn't the Cowboys front office, I'd be paying Pickens. And then, if CD got upset about it, then I would just pay CD because they have the money. Come on, like you're not
Yeah.
gonna. Let's not sit here and act like the Cowboys don't have the money to pay
Apparently,
out players.
apparently this contract with Quinn Williams freed up about $35 million in cap space.
Ooh,
There's that 35 for Pickens. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that the 35 mil a year that we're going to give Pickens now? Like, but I'm worried that Pickens is going to want more than that because he's better than Zay Flowers. And
yeah,
I don't know.
he is. I think.
It's this whole thing. But I've been trying not to get too excited with watching the training camp with Dallas because they had their joint practice against the Rams and what looked like they just destroyed them in a way. Like Stafford was frustrated, he threw a pick. Like
Yeah,
their
I don't think
defense
they
was shutting it
has.
down. But it's hard to tell because Miles Garrett
Yeah,
wasn't practicing. Puka got hurt during that
yeah, and the
practice.
Colts look good in Foxborough. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, what like let's be, it's gonna be another
Yeah.
story when that Rams team has a full head of steam this season. That's gonna be
And with Aaron Donald.
scary because they have pretty much all the pieces they need
Yeah.
to run through the league and then this time beat Seattle. I can't believe they lost to Seattle twice. That was unbelievable. Or it might have
Yeah.
been it
I
might
think
have been 3 times.
was it 3? I have no idea, but
Rams
yeah,
versus
this Rams team is stacked top to bottom,
no,
and
3 times. Hold on a second.
this Rams team is stacked top to bottom. And now Aaron Donald is actually like working out and practicing with the team consistently, and that's scary, like really scary. But we don't need to talk
Yeah,
about
I
the
don't.
Rams much more because we've already inflated them like crazy.
Yeah, so we got. Let's see here. Visitor, Los Angeles Rams. Okay. Yeah, so they did beat them earlier in the season, but then it was the 2 games that really mattered the most. I mean, those are the 2 games that everybody remembers. I just needed to refresh my memory because
Yeah.
that would have been an interesting clip right there. We could have just cut it at right there because that would have been, boom, Seahawk ultimate or a maxing for the Seahawks. Like, think about it, man. They
Yeah.
really they would and the power rankings had them like low and stuff. I don't know. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that team in Seattle. All I'm saying is the Rams could be even better. As good as
Yeah.
they were last year, they could be even better.
I think they're going to be. It's just so obnoxious. But with Seattle, do we think JSN produces similar last year? Or you think, because
Yes, barring no injury, he'd be. This is the kind of wide receiver that doesn't necessarily regress in copious amounts.
yeah,
He's a consistent player, always has been. He has an argument for being the best Ohio State wide receiver. So, and think about the absolute freaks that have come out of that university in terms of athleticism, route running, hands, pure speed, just straight line speed. I mean, they produce some very, very talented wide receivers. So JSN, consistency wise, I think as long as he's got no injuries, there's not going to be much of a fall off for that beast. I'm going to be paying more attention to guys like Jadarian Price. So they've spent high. It was a big question on whether or not they were going to draft a running back, and sure enough, They went and put their chips in the price basket. So
What's the state of Charbonnet?
I haven't kept up with the Charbonnet injury. I know. Let's see.
Because I mean, ESPN Fantasy currently right now has him getting more projected points.
What, Charbonnet?
No, Price.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, dude. I know it's gonna be Price at that position. I
Yeah,
just don't know
Charbonnet is
what
still
the status is.
I don't even. It says estimate return is the 9th, September 9th. So I guess the first season. I don't know. It's interesting to see.
Dude,
I
their
haven't been.
backfield is stacked. They have Holani as well, and they have Emmanuel
Yeah,
Wilson.
yeah,
That team is so scary. No wonder they wouldn't even care about
yeah.
K9, man. I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
no, to
I just have to get into this right here. I was just looking at
go for it.
because I typed in the word news, it brought me to NFL news, and now it's
Now you're
whoa,
gonna tell me the story.
what happened here? Kobe Bryant, Bears safety Kobe Bryant out 4 to 6 months, has to undergo knee surgery. This was written last night. I didn't know about this.
Oh wow. Oh, I did see that. Yeah. That's a huge loss. Laramie, I know another injury. Laramie Tunsil has tore his tricep, and he'll be out for most of the season as well.
I didn't
But
see that there. Oh,
what are your
man.
thoughts on Diggs going to the Commanders? How mad do you think Ayuk is?
Freak Diggs. Yeah, I wanted to. All right, real quick. So I
Yeah.
think with Stephon Diggs going to the Commanders, it'll prove to be an issue for the Eagles. Diggs is a guy that's able to get open downfield once the play expires. I was talking to Rel about that a little bit. That was like one of his specialties with Josh Allen, and that's going to be frustrating because that's always how teams beat the Eagles. It's like the play just starts to expire, and then there's somebody wide open.
Yeah.
Very, very frustrating. However, yeah, we don't know if he's at his best right now, if he's at his physical peak ability. He's been getting up to no good a lot in the offseason. I don't think there's a question of whether or not he loves the game of football. I just think it's a question of whether or not he's going to be focused on it this season.
Yeah.
It's not good for the Eagles and you. I forgot you're a
Yeah.
Cowboys and you guys because we're in this division together. But I don't know that it really swings the pendulum that far towards the almost said Redskins. Good thing I didn't. Towards the Commanders. So,
do we see a Diggs brother reunion with Trayvon in Washington?
do we see a Diggs brother reunion? I don't know. They're going to be.
I know they're like vouching for each other and stuff. I know Stephon's been trying to get Trayvon but it's all if whether or not they can sign him or not. Because I mean, he's 2 ACL surgeries. He's not the same corner that he was when he was in Dallas, unfortunately. But
that's true. Yeah, he's not the same guy. Yeah,
but I'll let you get to your news. Go ahead.
Injuries destroy guys' careers. It's such a shame. Yeah. Okay. So there's something glaring in the news right now, and people don't want to talk about it. Let me see if Schefter has talked about this yet. Because Schefter, real quick, Adam Schefter is a weasel, bro. Like that guy stinks. I'm so tired of people acting like he is anywhere near, like even and Shams ain't even that great either. But he's not near Shams level, and neither of them are near Woj's level. Those Woj bombs back in the day, nothing like them. Okay, nothing like them. But Adam Schefter wouldn't touch the Rossini story with a 10-foot pole, and I bet I'm willing to bet that he would do the same thing for this upcoming developing story, which Barron's put a story out on the 15th, a while ago, July 15th, and this has become very, very scary. Now, a gentleman by the name of Mohammed Koulibaly that was connected to a supposed investment firm, right?
Okay.
This was a startup that was going to invest people's money in Shopify brands. He was found dead in a pool in South Jersey, and it is connected to multiple NFL players, 3 Eagles players, but multiple NFL players and people from the Cardinals front office. So the story is that he tried to defraud some people. He wanted to say that if you give me money, I can get you rich quick. I'll invest it in these things on Shopify. They'll do drop shipping and boom, quick return, 3 months,
Mhm.
6 months profit. Too good to be true, you know? There's currently a couple of investigations going on. ESPN did do a short article recently, but things are still developing, and it's just really scary because there are a couple Eagles players involved. I mean, Jalen Carter's name keeps coming up, and
Oh
that's not
no.
good because he has a history of doing things he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean's name even came up. Like there were multiple guys that gave this guy money, and now the gentleman is dead, and so this is
Oh,
going to be very weird for the NFL and how they want to report on this because yes, your players are involved and you could take the stance that they had no idea that they were going to have their money stolen and that they had
yeah.
no idea that somebody was out to get this guy. However, there are multiple players involved. So to not say anything would be, just
Yeah.
admitting that I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to bring it to light and get
That's
it out there. But yeah, some sketchy stuff going on in the NFL right now. Outside of camp, outside of all the fantasy buzz. Yeah, this guy died and he didn't do it randomly. It comes right after he stole millions from multiple athletes. So
it's get like that's like when it starts getting real, honestly. Like when names start getting posted out there and stuff like that, that's when you're like, whoa, that's the eye opener right there. And man, that's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, so scary stuff there, but I think we should keep following up on that story and see what the
Yeah.
developments are.
Until we get like crucial things, we can't really like point fingers yet. But
Just got to speculate on what
yeah,
happened. Yeah.
just another thing in the NFL offseason.
The NFL offseason is so weird.
It never disappoints, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's crazy. Romo's DUI is like the softest, most
Right?
lighthearted thing. He's so funny.
Because then we like for a fantasy perspective, we have to worry about players like Josh Jacobs if he's going to get suspended. Puka Nakua, there's a chance he could get suspended for a couple games at the start of the season, and it's like, do we draft these guys still? Like at this point, I mean, maybe Puka. Obviously, I feel like if it's a couple game suspension later on
Oh,
down the
you can give nicknames on Sleeper. My guy, Rashi, the criminal Rice. That's what I have in quotations. Um, he's was
yeah
sitting in jail for a little while for doing some things he wasn't supposed to, and now we're gonna have to see if the Chiefs take any kind of action there. Is the league frustrated with Rishi Rice?
yeah
Is he scotch free? Is he now that he's out? There's no more investigate. So that's another guy whose name
yeah.
is definitely important in terms of fantasy.
It's just those players that get suspended. You're like, you have to really think about if it's worth possibly losing those first 4 games of your fantasy football season, and then will they produce when they get back? Like, obviously they're going to practice, but like that mess. I mean, that messes with people. Like suspensions and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's obviously, I feel like for Puka's standpoint, you're going to take him anyways because it's Puka Nakua, and once he gets back, he's going to ball out and score 25 points on average. But with Josh Jacobs, I mean, for me, he's been the fantasy savior that I've had the last 3 seasons. So it's just like, man, I might not have to take him for once.
Dude, I might switch it up this year. I've been thinking about it because usually with fantasy, I instead of trusting my gut, like I'll trust the numbers. You know what I mean? Like I'll trust the analysts and I'll trust the numbers. And usually that works out in fantasy. If there's certain guys that's been getting the ball,
Yeah.
they tend to keep giving them the ball. It's so. I think I may trust the gut though, and this year just like draft because my consistent performers
Yeah.
have not been
Who are they?
it's always like the guys that I had taken like the first or second round. It's
Well,
always the
obvious.
big names.
Yeah.
But, it's been like Cook was ridiculous last
Mhm.
year. Gibbs,
Gibbs
years
was,
past, I was a McCaffrey guy for a couple of years. You know what I mean? So it's like consistently they perform, and then after that, it's all mid. It's all mid, and like I'm
yeah,
going by the numbers, and this he should do this, he should do that, and I end up building a team that like analytically unbelievable, like on paper destroys everybody by 30.
that's
And then
everyone's team.
every year, teams score 250 points a game on me.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter. So I might as well just go with the gut and have fun this year. I think I might do something like
yeah,
nutty. Like if I get like a top 3 pick, I might just pick Puka. I might just take Puka and not
yeah,
a running back. Like I might
yeah.
actually. I've been really thinking about that. There's certain guys that you mentioned that are just, you know, you
Yeah.
can't you can't even hold a candle to them. They're so good at
If
fantasy. Maybe I just go with the
if
gut.
there's as much as you're gonna hate me for just keep inflating my own team, but Dak and Ferguson I've had forever, and they
Yeah.
produce. At least Dak does. Dak produces every year, and like as
Last
much as
year,
I don't want to
last year,
jinx it, but
last year was the first time where he was kind of touchy on some
yeah,
games, and that was because I started him every single game. He got word and was like, "Yo, I've been insane in fantasy. I think Owen is going to try and capitalize on that. Let me just tone it back a little bit."
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, in years past, dude, I've taken Dak just no regrets because you know as
It-
much as the defense has
Dallas loves.
struggled, your offense
Yeah,
does score. So he's a big part of that.
and then like there's people that I want to take chances on this year, like, but I'm like I don't know if it's gonna be worth the risk anymore. But because last year I tried DJ Moore, but he was terrible.
Dude,
But I might double down on DJ Moore this year with how he's performing in Buffalo.
I might fade him this year. I might
He's
fade
the only
DJ
target.
Moore.
He's the only guy they have.
Right. Well,
It's I don't know if
so what's your argument then? Last year they didn't have a target and Shakir still got 1,000? He likes the receivers that can skedaddle and run around when the play breaks down. I'm
guess.
telling you. I'm not saying DJ Moore is going to be super sticky. I'm just saying DJ Moore is an AJ Brown. He's a run my route and give me the ball or I'm going to get angry. You know what I mean? It's not the play broke down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go run 30 yards across the field and slide and get 3 turf burns, but I just picked up 25 yards and it's no longer 3rd and 10. You know what I mean? So
speaking of Buffalo, you see their new uniforms?
Oh, the gray ones. Yeah. What was the thing?
They compared it to a Pepsi kid.
Yeah, it was Diet Pepsi. I think. Yeah, it was like sugar-free Pepsi or something.
Apparently, there's a lot of issues with their new stadium too. Like a lot of seats don't have a clear view of the full field. I was looking at pictures, and apparently, there's like some spots in the stadium that are really bad.
Like, dude, they build these new stadiums, and then you're behind a wall.
I don't understand why they built the stadium anyways. Without a dome on it, because we've seen Buffalo has had a lot of issues with snow, and it's like right in the city. Like, why not just put a dome on it? Like,
Minnesota. What was that guy's name? What was that kicker's name? You remember?
Nah.
Shanked it. They were going to go to the playoffs. He shanked it.
I mean,
they domed up immediately. You know, that's my point. So it's like usually things happen, and the Bills consistently are not getting to the Super Bowl. Let's dome up, guys. Let's lock in.
Have to. I mean, Jerry's thinking about actually putting tents on the windows in AT&T Stadium.
Yes.
Finally, because it worked so well in the World Cup. It's almost like they should do it in the actual NFL.
They put curtains, yeah.
I saw this one thing online where did you see the clip of Lamb with the beekeeper like net over his eyes and he was catching passes?
Oh yeah.
And then someone was like, he's preparing to be blinded by the sun, so he's learning how to catch without seeing.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, that's kind of. I mean, think about it. The amount of times that, because I'm an Eagles fan, so we get to play them 2 times a year, and then
once at home, once in Dallas.
Yeah, and then if we're watching in that Dallas game, it's not just CD, it's the other guys too. They turn and the announcers says the same thing I think the sun might have got in his eyes here. Look, oh yeah, right there, the sun. It's like, dude, everybody was watching. Everybody knew what happened. But yeah, you're gonna get ready for that unless he installs curtains.
Or he was talking about tinting them. So we'll see.
5% tint.
Yeah. We'll see.
Do, 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 do.
I was listening to that at the gym earlier. Came on.
Astro. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm beyond excited. I'm excited for the NFL season. I'm excited for fantasy to start. I have a draft this Sunday for some reason. And this is why I was talking about the issues. I don't know who to draft. I feel like this puts me at a disadvantage. I feel like it puts most people at a disadvantage because
You got
we have a month until the season
3?
starts.
You got 3 in this draft, is what you said? You drew your order and you got 3?
Yeah, I'm third. So I must do some mock drafts and see what.
You taking Puka? Who are you taking?
I don't know yet. I haven't looked. I haven't done
Yeah,
a
I
draft.
haven't
I
mocked
haven't
either.
looked. I haven't looked at anything.
I haven't mocked either. Let me think real
But
quick. Well,
I
the
know
big
it's probably
3
me: Jameer,
are
Bijan,
and then
and Puka.
probably CMC or
CMC
Puka.
or Puka.
Yeah, right.
That's the issue though. I took CMC last year in one of my leagues, and he did really well. But the issue is their entire roster is already injured from that electromagnetic field.
Yeah, you don't take CMC on an even year. They said that you take Saquon Barkley on an even year. So,
but you see how have you seen the injury list with the 49ers?
bro, yeah, the
Do you see how
electrical substation account on Twitter. There's an account called Electrical Station, and it
Yeah.
just impersonates the 49ers account, and the person that runs it like tweets out and is like, you know what I mean? Like somebody had a tweet about George Kittle, and the electrical substation tweeted like, "I'm coming." It's like it's so funny. Like the station's gonna get them and injure them.
how long until they move at this point? Like
they would have already. I think that they doubled. I think they doubled down. I don't know that they will move.
it's so because Mike Evans looks super slow, and then you'll see every player is like soreness, so they won't practice, and then it's just
They
half
all
the
know.
roster. It's just
They all know what it is. Like if they should move, but will they? I don't know. Like they all know they're just going to double down and probably stay there. I think.
yeah. It's just man, that team is always so good on paper, and then they're just riddled with injuries. And I'm not complaining because I'm not going to complain, but I'm never going to prey on someone being injured. That's the thing. I'm never.
No, yeah, we don't want to see them get injured. No, all these players went there, and I mean they had a crazy offseason. A lot of people graded them as having the best offseason. And then the tweets started, get ready for the electrical substation. Get ready to deal with the electromagnetic fields messing with the players' knees. And sure enough, Noah, we are in the second week of August. We've only had one game so far, the Hall of Fame game, no preseason game. Or no, did we have a preseason game?
There are games today. There's games Friday and Saturday. So
and I think Tua is getting the start.
He is.
So let's tune into those games and pay attention as it's just getting started and players from the Niners are already hurt.
If honestly with Tua's start, he
Pearsall's done, right?
Yeah, Pearsall's out for the year.
Yeah, before the Hall of Fame game. Yeah, before summer even started. Yeah, they had somebody out for the season. So
it's just I mean you think that Achane had a lot of touches with Tua being the starting quarterback. Imagine with Bijan, the year Bijan's gonna have if he can stay healthy. And what's crazy is I'm looking at this right now. I've just been glancing at it. Ashton Genty is the second highest projected running back on this list.
Oh man.
He's higher than Bijan. That's crazy.
Yeah, nah, no way, bro. I just assessed everything. I'm pretty sure he's not even top 4 yet, and he shouldn't be. I understand they made the move for the tackle in the center and
Hampton's 4.
Dean and couple guys on the outside, but
yeah,
I don't know that Genty. I don't know, man.
Amari and Hampton's 4th on this.
Genty's gonna be good, but I think it's gonna still be like a force feed situation where they're gonna need to figure out the offense a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, it just depends what Kirk O'Chains can do, honestly.
Yeah, let's not forget this year is about Nando. It's not necessarily about Genty. It's about the Raiders making sure Fernando feels safe and at home.
Yeah, I think Kirk's the starter for now.
Yeah.
Until they start losing games, and then they'll throw in
Nando. Throws 4 picks in one quarter against somebody.
Yeah. But I think we're at a decent stopping point.
Yes.
This is exciting. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm most definitely excited, not just for the NFL season, but to play some fantasy football.
Yes,
Or
we're gonna go back to Thursday night in the fall semester when we get there. We'll bring you the fantasy content. We're still going to be making videos. We're still going to be doing this for the remainder of the summer until we go back to school in exactly 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, you will get our mock drafts. We will make probably a visual look of it on Canva or something. That way, for the people on YouTube watching and that aren't listening live, we'll read it out live on the air, obviously,
yeah,
but we'll have a visual
but we'll
representation
have with the
on
guys.
YouTube. So stay tuned for that, and we'll bring you more training camp stuff. Maybe we'll give a little more sneak peek of some sneaky players to look out for next week as training camp progresses and we see some preseason games. That's all we got. So we'll see you guys next week, and maybe hopefully we can get Danica on here and we can do a game time thing, although it's kind of a weird timeline in the sports thing where it's like kind of like a dull area, but we'll see what we can pluck from like the MLB season or something like that. So
Okay, sounds good.
but we will see you guys.
Yes, we will.
Have a great week, everybody.
Wrapping it up. Have a great week.